Hello everyone, today in this video I'm going to be talking about my advice that I have for anyone looking to get into journaling or for people who already are journaling and are looking for tips. So this is the third and final part in my video series about journaling. You can see part 1 and 2, I've linked them down in the description, where I basically just cover my journaling habits over the past year, as well as my plans for 2025 and what I'd like to do with journaling. In this video, I'm going to be covering a few key points of advice that I use as the foundations for how and why I write with my journaling. The timestamps will be in the description, but basically we'll be covering 5 points today. So the 5 pieces of advice I have in a nutshell are: your journal is for you, write for the future, keep what works, reject what doesn't, make it a habit, and make it enjoyable. So I'll expand on each of those, but first let's start with your journal is for you. So what I mean by this is that you should write in your journal as though no one is going to read it but you. You shouldn't be censoring your thoughts or writing it in a way as if someone else would be reading it. This should be raw and just unfiltered thoughts that you have or feelings, because to be open with yourself and explore what it is that you're feeling, that's one of the main points of journaling. You're not going to be able to do that if you are writing for an audience other than yourself. So regardless of the thoughts that you're having, whether you perceive them to be good or bad, everyone's going to have ugly thoughts sometimes. It's okay to write about them. I think self-reflection and thinking about why we are feeling these things is one of the key reasons that we're journaling to begin with. So I always just write purely for myself, and that imagining that no one's going to read it, because no one really will. My second piece of advice is to write for the future. Now, what I mean by that is whenever you write, you should provide context to what it is that you're talking about. Because as you write now, you may understand everything that you're writing about, but if you look 10 years from now, even like a year from now, and you go back and read what it is that you wrote, there may be some things that you don't understand because you didn't provide the proper context for them. The way I do it is that I write as if whoever would be reading the journal knows nothing about me whatsoever, because honestly, that may be who you are a year from now, is a completely different person, right? So you should just provide as much context as like reasonably possible to anything that you write about. So whenever you do read something from the past, you're able to understand everything that's going on, and there's no like references that you're unaware of or anything like that. My third piece of advice is keep what works and reject what doesn't. So this one's pretty self-explanatory, but don't be afraid to try new things in your journaling. If there's anything you come across that you feel like might work with you and that you do want to try, just give it a go. Because like worst case scenario, it doesn't work, and then you can just stop doing it, you know? Any segments that you want to add to your journal, just go ahead and do it, whether it be something that you find from a video or a friend recommends it, or even if it's something that you think of that yourself that might be like productive, you know? Give it a shot, have a whirl. And on the flip side as well, like don't keep doing something if it's not working for you, or if you feel like you're not getting any value out of it just because someone else told you that it's important. There is no one size fits all in journaling. Something that I think some videos that I see preaching is that like this is like the effective method that works for journaling, but everyone's going to have a different approach to why they want to journal and like what works for them specifically. So don't ever perceive this one specific segment or thing that you question yourself in journaling as being like the holy grail of it works for everyone, because it doesn't. My fourth piece of advice is make it a habit. And this is probably one of the most important ones. Pick a time where you can journal and consistently hold yourself to doing it at that time. It's second nature to me now at this point, but around about maybe 6 months in when I was journaling, there was like a period of time where I was very on again, off again with it, and I wasn't being super consistent with my journaling habits. What's worked for me now is it's part of my daily ritual at night just before I go to bed, just to set some time aside to write in my journals. It might be different for you. Maybe you'd rather do it in the morning or on your lunch break. Whenever it is, just pick a time that works for you and just make sure that you stick to it. Once you're able to bake it into your nightly routine or your morning routine, you'll find it a lot easier to do, because now it's like not even something that I see as like optional in my brain. It's like I have to journal before I go to bed, so I'll stop doing other things to make sure that I have enough time to journal before I sleep. And my last piece of advice is make it enjoyable. So it's going to be a lot easier to make it a habit if it's something that you actually look forward to doing every single day. Again, everyone will have different things for them that make it enjoyable, whether you're lighting a candle, or if you have a cup of tea while you do it, or you have a snack, you bling out your journal, you use some nice pens, doodle on each page, like whatever it is that works for you. Just make it something that's fun and like pleasurable to do, you know? It shouldn't be something that you dread or is like a chore, like doing the dishes. Kind of tying into the keep what works and reject what doesn't mentality as well is just make sure you enjoy what you write about. Don't include segments that you have no passion or interest in because someone else told you to do it. You know, you should be writing things that you enjoy writing about. For me specifically, I like putting stickers on my journals. I got on pretty much every single journal I have, to my knowledge at least, I have just some stickers on them just to make them like personalized and unique, and like also easily tell them apart from one another. I get these from like conventions, or actually I don't think I bought any online. I think I've only gotten them from conventions, but like you can get stickers like anywhere you want, you know, stickers of whatever you want. I have nice pens as well, and I also tend to just either listen to like some ASMR or relaxing just music on Spotify while I write, you know, just to keep me in the zone and like productive. So those are my key pieces of advice. Pretty short video, honestly, but there's nothing much to be said other than what I've already mentioned. It's just pretty straightforward what I said. I think if you're able to follow those 5 things, you're going to be able to journal more consistently and enjoy doing it, and it will become something that is a part of your routine rather than something you have to like go out of your way to do, you know, because that's ultimately the goal that you want to do, is you want it to be something you enjoy doing, something that's a routine or a habit that you're able to do, whether it be daily, weekly, monthly, whatever like time period that you do it on. So that does conclude my video series about journaling. Hopefully you enjoyed these. If you did, please leave a like and a comment below on if there was any particular piece of advice here that resonated with you, or if there's any advice you have for yourself that you would want to pass on to someone looking to get into journaling, or even something to pass on to me, because I'm always looking to learn something new with journaling, you know? But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.